The music news for the streets, the music news for your beats, the news for the music stuff that you gonna need. We gon' talk about plugins, we gon' talk about gear. If it's news on this music, we gon' talk about it here. Let's go.
Welcome to the Music News for the Streets, first annual Music Production Community Award Show. I'm your host, SumnSumnSumn. Hit the keys. And in today's awards ceremony, we have all kinds of awards, from the best free plugin. We've got the worst software company. We've got the worst hardware company. We've got so much more than that. But our first award today goes to the Company of the Year. And the Company of the Year this year is Universal Audio. You may be wondering how Universal Audio won this award, but if you've been paying attention, then you definitely know how. Let's go ahead and check it out. So as we see here, Universal Audio started out the year and they dropped this Sphere LX and they dropped this Sphere DLX. These microphones model all kinds of different microphones. So they're gonna model everything from the Sony 800 to the Neumann U87, the U47, just so many different great microphones. As you see here, the LX is the smaller version. This one's gonna model 20 different microphones. And then you have the DLX, which is gonna model 38 different microphones. I've completed a review on the DLX on the channel, so you can check that out if you want more information on that. But they didn't stop there, because then they came out and they released some lower budget ones, so that if you have a lower budget, that you can go ahead and get one of these microphones. So they have the SC standard condenser right here, which uses the Hemisphere software. This one's going to emulate all these different microphones right here that you see. Then they have the dynamic microphone right here, so you can get the SD standard dynamic, and it's going to model all these microphones. Then they also have the small diaphragm condenser, and this one's gonna model all these microphones. If you look here, they made the pricing very affordable for those that did want to get into this. So as you see here with the standard one, it is $499 at Zounds, and you can get that with no credit check. You can get the dynamic one for $209, and then you can get the pen microphone over here for $349. And then as you see here, you have the DLX and the LX that are currently on sale. They didn't stop there. As you see here, they made all of their plugins, or most of their plugins, native. So you do not need their hardware anymore to use their plugins. And that's been a big thing with Universal Audio over the years. And they've been running great deals on them. And that's what's making it killer too, is that they're making these plugins affordable finally. So I've talked about these many a times on the channel. I do believe that Universal Audio had the deal of the year. But as you look here, most of these plugins, they cost $300 regularly for years, and they're selling them for $39. $349, selling it for $49. And you see over here, they're just giving you great deals. And then you can come over here and you can grab some of these bundles. So as you just see, as I just showed you, they typically cost $299. Well, you can get a 44 plugin bundle for $299 right now from Universal Audio. Which is absolutely phenomenal. And then Universal Audio did not stop there. They also dropped Luna for free for all Mac users, so you do not need any kind of Universal Audio hardware in order to use Luna. And this DAW right here is very fire. It's a great recording DAW. If I didn't pay for Logic already, I would definitely use this as my recording DAW. Many of you guys know that I use FL Studio. But I'm not lying to you guys when I tell you this DAW is very nice for recording. And with this DAW, they give you a bunch of great sounds as well. You get some fire sounds in this thing. I can't stress enough right here, as you see, it is free. You get oxide tape extension. You'll get the Shape Toolkit instrument, which is nice. You get a bunch of sounds in that Shape Toolkit instrument. You get an arpeggiator, and then you can get a 30-day free trial to the Pro Bundle. And you can check it out and see if you like it. What's cool about the Pro Bundle is that it comes with all of these plugins. So you are gonna get a bunch of other plugins as well, and all this stuff is Universal Audio. It works great in the plugin. There's a bunch of different stuff that you can check out on this. Shout out to Universal Audio. They did a whole lot this year. I can't wait to see what they got going next year. And the next award that I have for you guys today is for the YouTube Series of the Year. The winner of the YouTube Series of the Year is, drumroll please. Sorry, we ain't got the budget for the band. We ain't got no budget for the graphics either this year. But the winner of the award for the YouTube Series of the Year goes to Kyle Beats for the rappers that would have killed this beat series. So if you don't know who Kyle Beats is a producer here in the YouTube space. He makes pretty good content. He does a great job at filming. The edits on his videos are pretty solid. He's done a great job for helping to basically make this a space for all of us to create. I know on this channel, I have given Kyle some flack over 2-Click Audio. I've also given him some props for some of the free stuff that he's dropped. But if I can give some hate, I can also give some love. And the rappers who would have killed this beat series is definitely the best series of the year. This is a great way to engage your subscribers. It's a great way to basically give them some light, give them some shine. As you can see here, every time he drops one of these videos, it is going to get some views. So we just dropped one a day ago. It's already got 55K views. But as you can see here, they all got a bunch of views. So it consistently gets views. It's a popular series. Over the last year, I know his channel's grown a lot. Really over the last 2 years, I know his channel's probably grown like 500,000. So shout out to Kyle for being a part of the community, giving back to his community and giving his people some shine. That's definitely much appreciated. I can't wait to see where you go with this series next year. The next award that I have for you guys today is definitely the Surprise of the Year. And that's the name of the award, Surprise of the Year. So the Surprise of the Year goes to Teenage Engineering for their new sampler, the KO2. Why is that the Surprise of the Year, you may ask? Because it's only $299 and it's not a bad sampler at all. It's actually pretty legit from what I've seen and from what all the YouTubers I know have commented on it. The only issue with it is obviously Fadergate. The fader might be a little sketchy, but I'm sure they're gonna get that fixed before the next batch goes out. But as we take a look over here, this right here, it comes with the built-in mic and speaker. It may look like a calculator, but it looks like a fancy calculator, in my opinion. It has 6 stereo voices, 12 mono, 6 megabyte memory, or 999 sample slots. It's got 6 built-in master effects, punch-in effects, pressure-sensitive keys, and multifunctional fader. Sampling frequency is 46 kilohertz to 16 bits. One-time stereo in, out, sync in and out, mini in and out, USB-C. Powered by 4 batteries or via USB-C. Dimensions are 240 millimeters times 176 millimeters times 16 millimeters. Don't they know we're in America? I need inches. Pause. And then it comes with the limited edition 10-inch collector's box. So why is this a surprise, you may ask? Well, Teenage Engineering is the same company that basically dropped this desk right here for $1,600. I need y'all to see the field desk for a second. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. And this desk right here, as you can see, there's not much to it. This looks like a $25 desk that you can get from Lowe's. And then we obviously know the price of like the OP1 Field and all that stuff. So as we see here, the OP1 Field is $2,000, just overpriced. The TX6 is for a mixer is $1,200 for this mixer right here. Look at it. Look at it. Look at this thing. I mean, it doesn't look ugly, but for $1,200, I'm pretty sure you can get a much better mixer. So why it's such a surprise is for $299, it looks like they finally did look out for all of the producers and give folks really a budget-friendly sampler that you can use, make quality beats with, and it's got some good effects and good sounds. It's easy to use. There's a ton of content out there on it, so if you're looking for a sampler, I would recommend checking this one out. Shout out to Teenage Engineering for winning the Surprise of the Year. Up next, we have our free plugin of the year. I actually broke this down into 2 different categories. So I'm giving you guys 1 free plugin, and then I'm also giving you guys a bundle because I couldn't decide which was better. So we'll start off with the single plugin, and the single plugin of the year is Vaporizer 2. When you take a look here at Vaporizer 2, it looks like this in the DAW. Very solid synthesizer. It's got a ton of different presets. As we look here at some of the highlights, it has a state-of-the-art wavetable engine with 4 independent free wavetable oscillator banks, up to 24 oscillator unison, low CPU usage, and it really does have low CPU usage. Groundbreaking wavetable editor with a vast number of editing possibilities, including frequency shift, smooth, clean, bend, and bloat for single cycles. Easy to use wavetable draw mode with a smooth Bezier curve and snap to grid function. Mix in, amplitude, modulate, interpolate, convolute. You can do all kinds of stuff there. You can generate FM, PWM, harmonic morph, reduce, low pass, high pass, band pass, comb, format filtering. So you get all kinds of different filtering with this thing. As you see here, you can import and change standard Serum and Icarus format wavetables. So that's solid as well. You can go out there and get some of their wavetables and some of these free forums and use it in this plugin. You can record single cycle changes into new wavetables. You got oscillator pitch modulation, 30 real-time wavetable effects. I believe it has 400 different presets, additive synthesis, just the list goes on. As you can see here, it comes with different effects, 25 different modulation sources. This thing is a beast, and for free of charge, it is just a solid synthesizer to add to your collection in case you need one. The second freebie that I have for you guys for freebie of the year, it's not going to surprise a lot of you guys. I've talked about both these plugins a lot lately, but the second one's going to be the Complete Start Bundle. So when we take a look here at the Complete Start Bundle, this comes with 12 plugins. So if you're just getting going or you're looking for some plugins or just some stuff to use, this is solid because it's going to come with this Ozone 11 EQ. In my opinion, this is probably the best free EQ out there. Just very solid. You're going to get different instruments. You're going to get effects. So you're going to get Hypha. You're going to get Analog Dreams, which is really good for like synthwave music. Ethereal Earth, which is really good for like any kind of cinematic music and stuff like that. Movie scoring. Hypha's solid. You're going to get Factory Selection 2. So you're going to get a whole bunch of different sounds from acoustic, bands, beats, synth, vintage categories, all that good stuff. Irish Harp is solid as well. And Yang Quinn is very fire, Chinese dulcimer. Then you're going to get some effects, like I mentioned, the Ozone EQ already. ROM is super nice, very good. Another chef's kiss, because this is a really good reverb. You're going to get Supercharger, which is very good for you to use to do parallel compression on your drums or parallel processing. Replica is a nice delay that has some different effects on the delay that make it sound better. You're going to get Guitar Rig 7 Player, which is solid. It's a really good guitar amp simulation. It's going to come with, I believe, 50 to 60 different presets for you to use too as well, on top of all the different effects and cabs and all that stuff that come in there. Then you're going to get Vinyl, which is an oldie but a goodie. Definitely a good start if you're just starting your production journey and you need some plugins and you don't want to spend any money on some. Definitely a good start, i.e. Complete Start. Or if you have a bunch of plugins and you just want some new plugins to play with, again, not a bad collection of plugins to grab. And the next award that I have for you guys today goes to the worst hardware company in 2023. Pretty sure a lot of you guys know who this one goes to. Go ahead and give it up for Behringer. So many of you guys may be wondering why Behringer is getting this award. Well, basically, Behringer went on an attack on social media influencers and content creators this year. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So as we see here, in the last few days, there's been a lot of discussion about Behringer's Loopop topic. It's about that Behringer has publicly accused Loopop of not doing reviews of their products because they didn't send them free gear. Loopop then issued a statement that these statements were a lie, but this was blocked on Facebook by Behringer's social media team. Obviously, a lot of YouTubers got behind him because he provided proof and all this stuff that they were still willing to send him synthesizers, but he just didn't want to do any more reviews on their products because basically they were singling out media members and trolling them and making pedals and stuff like that with supposed to be this guy's face on there. I'm not going to show the pedal and all that stuff, but some people say it's anti-Semitic. I'm not sure if it is or not. I can't be the judge on that. But then Behringer doubled down, and instead of apologizing for lying, basically this was their response. We understand that our social media administrators may not always get it right, as they may not be aware of the complete history of the changing nature of people and their situations. However, we have implemented clear marketing policies to avoid any conflicts of interest. We do not pay for reviews for media or influencers. If they choose not to support us for any reason, we are perfectly fine with it. Well, you know what I'm saying? Loopop wasn't talking about paying them for a review. He was talking about y'all absolutely lied when y'all said y'all didn't want to send him any gear. and y'all were going to send us some gear to do a review. And then they said, we do not engage in paid advertisements. Absolutely nobody's asking you to do that. We have stopped providing free gear for influencers. Well, that's dumb, because how do you expect influencers to do a review on your product? So what's crazy about Behringer is Behringer expects for you to buy their product, spend time in your life to figure out the product, record a video, record all the stuff that you need, edit the video, upload the video, and give their company all this promotion, whether it's negative or positive, and then probably not even get a return on the investment because you might not make as much money in AdSense as it cost you to buy the synth. And then, like a lot of synth YouTubers, don't necessarily need Behringer products because they probably already have the more expensive version of the product. So you want somebody to buy your product to do a review, and give you free publicity because you guys feel like you guys are this company that's doing all this great stuff by basically biting off other companies, which is wild. But that's not all. So as you remember, they definitely doubled down on this. So as we see here, they made a Facebook post on September 28th. Very exciting. We're about to fire up the first CS Mini synth prototype. It's modeled after the famous CS80 and carries the exact same analog voice. It includes polyphony, patch memory, and much more. And then below that, it says, as many media outlets and influencers, in quotations, don't support us anymore, make sure you subscribe here on Facebook forum below for the latest news. Collaborate with our synth developers, share your ideas, and get a chance to win free synthesizers by participating in our activities, our synthesizer and drum Behringer, blah, 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 blah. So basically, they don't want to give content creators a free synth to give them an honest review, but they'll give you a free synth if you know what I'm saying, get into their activities. And then they weren't done. As we see here, they absolutely doubled down, they tripled down on this. So they said it again, many media outlets and influencers have decided to not support us anymore. It's not that people don't want to support y'all, it's that y'all come out and y'all accuse people of saying foul stuff. So I made a video and it was about the most trash company tier list. And I put Behringer almost not trash. And that was before I did a little more research into Behringer. If I would have done more research, I probably would have moved them up higher on the list. But as we see here, they say because we don't pay for ads, nobody's asking you to pay them for ads, and we don't provide free products for reviews, or they simply don't like us for whatever reason. In all fairness, there are also many other outlets that share our content or review our products in an unbiased and honest manner because they do what is best for you, the customer. So do you guys hear that shit? It's like they have God complex over at Behringer. So they feel like the people who will do reviews on their stuff do what's best for the customer. But then they feel like people who don't want to pay for their products just to do a review aren't doing what's best for the customer, which is absolutely wild. So there's so much more with Behringer. So a lot of people hate on Behringer for the whole synth modeling, and that they basically take apart other synths and reverse engineer their synthesizers. Look, I'm not going to hate on that because I use plugins like Arturia's V Collection, so on and so forth, and all they're doing is basically doing that plugin form. But when they started reverse engineering like affordable stuff and then charging the same as it, so they're basically stealing somebody's MIDI controller and then trying to charge the same price for it under the guise of, you support us because we're not for profit or this and that. That's absolutely trash. And then you can come over here and you can just Google Behringer sucks. And then you'll see all this, the latest Behringer synth drama, bad gear, Behringer and the Battle of the Titans, just a whole bunch of different stuff. All this stuff. Do not buy from Behringer. I mean, you can just Google whatever it is that you want. Why is Behringer so bad? Just so on and so forth. Does everyone hate Behringer? So on and so forth. You can just Google it and you can look into all kinds of documentaries and all kinds of stuff. Weaver Beats did a good video on Behringer, so you can check that out as well. Next up, I've got the VST Instrument of the Year. For me, the Instrument of the Year was Falcon 3. So as we take a look here at Falcon 3, I also feel like Falcon 3 is the most underrated plugin out there. It's a very solid synth. The runner-up or some honorable mentions for this, though, might be Simplant. I just never used Simplant, so I can't make it the plugin of the year or the instrument of the year if I never used it. Current's fire too, but I've never used it, so I can't give it the instrument of the year. But as you see here with Falcon, Falcon is just so solid. Unlimited sound sources. They added some new different effects to this thing. They overhauled the GUI, so the GUI looks nice. You get all kinds of different modulations. The events and the scripting on this thing is fire. So you've got a bunch of new different arpeggiators. And what's nice is they probably have like 8, 9 different arpeggiators in this plugin. So you can do all kinds of crazy stuff where you can layer a whole bunch of different sounds, and then you can put different arps on different layers, which just makes it super fire. The workflow was a little bit better than it had been in the past. And then as you see here, these are what the new GUIs look like. So when you go to different sounds, you're gonna have different GUIs and different controls. This is just a very fire plugin. I've done a full review on Falcon 3. As you see here as well, they have new different oscillators. They've got, they show you a little more about the effects. And like I said before, I've done a full review on this, so I'm not going to spend all the time in the world on this one because like I said, I've done a review on it, and I'll link that so you can check that out if you want to check it out. And now it's the time that most of you guys have been waiting for. It's time for the worst software company of 2023. Give it up to Unison Audio, everybody. I knew you guys saw that one coming. So this year, Unison Audio dropped Midi Wizard 2. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say that it is the worst plugin in the world, but it is not worth the $300 price tag that they are giving. And what's even worse is the ads. So the ads on this one this time, they are telling you that all the people who are against the plugin or against their company are essentially haters. Look, I have to say this because I meant to say this in the last video where I talked about this. I need you guys to think about this for just 1 second. So if you've purchased Midi Wizard, if you've purchased Drum Monkey, if you've purchased Sound Doctor, if you've purchased Bass Dragon, and all you do is use those plugins, are you really making music? Do you really consider yourself a musician? Because if you're just pushing a randomized button to get a chord progression and a melody, you're pushing a randomized button to get drums, you're pushing a randomized button to get effects, and you're pushing a randomized button to get your bass, you're not really making music. And you wonder why people get mad and they're upset. It's because you spent $1,200 to not make music. Do you understand how ridiculous that is? You spent $1,200 to not make music. And you let this guy Sep from Unison trick you into thinking, oh, this is what the pros use. Or, oh, this is going to give you an unfair advantage. Let me ask you all this, right? So if Midi Wizard is so fire, and like he said, it's going to help you get Billboard chart hits, how come we don't have no examples of Billboard charting hits using Midi Wizard 1 or 2? Just let that sink in for just a second. Because if it is what he says it is, he'd be more than happy to let you know what's got a placement with this plugin. But what has got a placement with this plugin? I need answers, Sway. I need answers. I'm going to stop for a second. Let's think about it. What producer that's making platinum hits do you think is opening up Drum Monkey or Midi Wizard 2 in the middle of their session? I'm just saying. So as we look here at the site, I've done this. I'm not going to harp on this too much. But as you see here, you're going to get hit-worthy chord progressions and melodies. Again, how can you make that claim if we don't know anything that's got a placement using this, right? Gaining a huge unfair competitive advantage. How do you know you're getting a competitive advantage if it's got no placements? Because if so many people have bought it and it has no placements, how are you getting an unfair advantage? I need answers, Sway. I need answers. And I'm also going to give the worst community out there to the Unison community as well, because this is funny to me. So as we see here in these comments, these are just 2 comments that YouTube decided to hold for me. It says that I'm super lame. That one's not that bad. But then the one below it says, you really are a sad little clueless cuck to keep making Seething Unison videos every single time they release something. Stay mad, LOL. Fam, I'm not mad. And what's funny is, I don't think you know the definition of cuck, because the way it looks right now is that I have your baby, Unison Audio, bent over right now, and I'm giving it to him, and you're watching. So that makes you the cuck. And no, I'm not going to stop going hard on Unison because Unison Audio has copyright strike content creators for giving reviews on their products. They've overcharged, taken advantage of newer producers. They scammed them. They've done FOMO. So they basically said, oh, we're only going to sell 1,000 copies of, X plugin. And then they keep selling the plugin. So they basically have lied in their promotion. They're telling you that it costs $500,000 to $1 million to make these plugins when that is not the case. There are many different programmers that have been on this channel and they've said, oh, it only costs $12,000 or something to make the plugin with everything done. But the reason why they're charging you so much is so that they can run these stupid ass ads that we have to watch every time that we turn their videos on. I mean, Unison Audio, they are definitely the scum of the earth. I've talked about it many times. Next time they drop a plugin, I'm gonna be here like the Jacksons. The next award that I have for you guys today is the Top Effects plugin of 2023. The winner of the Top Effects plugin goes to XLN Audio for Life. When you look at Life, it is going to look like this. I've also done a full review of this plugin. It is super solid because you can record anything that you want on your phone, and then you can automatically send it right to Life into your DAW, and then it'll chop it up in these sections. Again, I've done a full review on this, but let's go ahead and take a look at why this is so nice. We can take our phone, and then as we see here, I've got the app pulled up. So if I just hit this record button down here, all right, so we'll go ahead and we'll save that. Done. Now, once we put done here, we can come, and save. Make sure you save it. And then once we come over here, boom, it just automatically loaded up in there just like that. So now we have to download the file. We've downloaded the file and now it's already in the computer. No pausing, no edits, nothing. All right, so now we can load that up real quick. We'll hit randomize and we'll see what it sounds like. So that sounds pretty solid, right? So like, you can do that with anything. And so then I ended up randomizing it a couple of times and then I put it into this little house beat that I made. And I'll let you guys hear what it sounds like in that house beat. So all the percussions that you heard and all that do, I put little bit crusher and stuff like that on there. But this thing is fire because you can use it for so much. You can use it for Foley and lo-fi beats. It's got so many different features that you can mess with. You can randomize it and just do a bunch of stuff and get some percussion sounds that you never knew you could get. For me, it's super fire because I'm not good at putting percussion in beats. That's like my weakest point in making beats. So I think that it's absolutely fire. I've seen some people say that it's just okay. I strongly disagree. This is my favorite effects plugin of the year. And then I would probably give an honorable mention to Transit. I've got a surprise award for you guys this year. This one is a Lifetime Achievement Award. We believe on this channel in giving out awards to those that deserve them, especially for doing a lifetime of work. This year's Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Spotify. And the reason why they get the Lifetime Achievement Award is because they've been putting in a lifetime of screwing artists by giving us 0.0003 cents for plays. And now this year they decided when 2024 comes around, they're not gonna pay artists anymore with under 1,000 views. You might get paid for writing, you know what I'm saying, the beat or whatever, but that's only like 20% of the 0.0003 cents. You know what I'm saying? So I cannot go without giving out the Lifetime Achievement Award. Spotify, come get your award. You deserve it. And the last award that I have for you guys this year is the YouTube Creator of the Year. That award goes to Venus Theory. So as many of you guys know, Venus Theory makes pretty solid content. I wish he would smile a little bit more. He seems sad sometimes. But Venus makes all kinds of solid content. So as we look over here, it's just not your typical content. As you see here, he just made a free plugin for us, but he's actually made a bunch of free stuff for us. And we'll talk more about that a little bit later. That's kind of why he wins this award. But as you see here, he just has different kind of content now. So he doesn't just do reviews and stuff like that. He'll put stuff in a different way for you to think about stuff. So, he's got like the introverted musician's guide to being alone, artist's guide to un-effing your music. This one's a quality video, how YouTube destroyed his last video. Just all kinds of different kinds of videos, creative concepts and stuff like that. Since this is the first year that I'm giving this award away, and I'm giving any of these awards away, this kind of goes into last year as well, because he just made some really creative content. And then on top of that, Venus has made a bunch of free stuff for us. So he's made a ton of different libraries for Decent Sampler. He made a UVI plugin for us called Noctua or Noctua or Noquisha. I'm still not sure what it's called, but I know he's made a whole bunch of stuff for us for the community, which is solid. And he's also done so much more than that. So as we come to the website, we just look at some of the companies that he's worked with. So AAS, he's worked with Arturia making presets, worked with UVI doing all of their demo videos and making presets for UVI, worked with Hook Theory, worked with Lunacy Audio. Lunacy Audio is a fire company. They make the Cube and he's made a bunch of presets. I've gone over some of his sample packs or expansion packs in there. Worked with Reason, worked with Loop Cloud, Cubase, Spitfire Audio, Modal, Rolly. I mean, just the list goes on. As you see here, he's just worked with a ton of different companies. He's done a lot to give us good sounds, give us free sounds, give us different content. I would be remiss if I didn't give it up to him for being the content creator of the year, because he's been holding it down for the last couple of years. So everybody give it up for all the winners this year. You guys come get your awards. By awards, I mean that's what I got for y'all. All right, guys, so that's what I got for you guys today in the 2023 Music Production Community Award Show. Let me know below in the comments what I got wrong, what I got right. Let me know what awards you guys want to see next year. Make sure if you guys do like this content, though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you could be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Some, hit the key.